Hi everyone, my name is Laurent Kubaski. I'm the product manager for Files Connect, and today I'm going to teach you how to connect your Salesforce org to Google Drive. So go to your setup tree and make sure that Files Connect is enabled. Go to the Files Connect node and make sure that Files Connect is enabled. Then you must assign the Files Connect Cloud user permission to the admin user. In this case, the admin user is Laurent Kubaski. So I have already created a permission set. And on this permission set that I called Files Connect Cloud, I have enabled the Files Connect Cloud user permission. So if I go to System Permissions, and if I search for Files Connect Cloud, I see that the Files Connect Cloud user permission is enabled. And in the Manage Assignments section, make sure that your permission set is assigned to the admin user. Of course, you can also assign the Files Connect Cloud user permission using a custom profile. One important thing if you use a permission set is that when you create the permission set, make sure that there is no user license selected, i.e. when you create the permission set, make sure that this drop-down is set to none. That's very important. Okay, so the admin user now has the Files Connect Cloud user permission. You are now going to create an OAuth provider. So go to the Auth Providers section, click on New, and select OpenID Connect. Do not select Google, that's very important. Even if you want to connect to Google Drive, do not select Google, make sure you select OpenID Connect. Okay, so we need to fill in all these values, and in order to do this, we must first create a new project in Google. So open a new tab and go to console.developers.google.com/project and click on Create Project. I'm going to use a random name, but you may want to use Google Drive as your project name. Okay, I hit Create. I just need to wait for my new Google App project to be created. Alright, here is my project dashboard. Expand the APIs and Auth section and go to APIs. And there are two APIs that we want to enable, Drive API and Drive SDK. So in the API library tab, just look for Drive, and that's the two APIs we want. Click on the first one, Drive API, and click on Enable. All right, click on Back, and now we are going to enable the second one, Drive SDK. Again, I click on Enable. I click on Back, and that's all I need to do on the API side. Next, let's go to the consent screen. Enter an email address and a product name. Well, let's just use Google Drive, and also you can upload your company logo if you want. The end users will see this logo when they authenticate against Google Drive from Salesforce. Click on Save. Then go on the Credentials section. And in the OAuth section, click on Create New Client ID and choose Web Application. And then create Client ID. Okay, your Google app is now created, and Google generated a client ID and client secret for you. Let's go back in Salesforce on my OpenID Connect Auth provider. In the name, Let's choose, for example, Google Drive. Same thing for the URL suffix. Consumer key. So go back to Google. The consumer key is known as the client ID in the Google world. So copy this value and paste it in the consumer key field. Consumer secret, go to Google. That's known as the client secret there. So copy this value and paste it in the consumer secret. Finally, you need to provide the authorized endpoint, token endpoint, and default scopes. These are mentioned in the Files Connect documentation. I'm just going to copy and paste the values. Authorized endpoint, token endpoint, and default scopes. Hit save. On the auth provider details page, if you scroll down, you will see a callback URL. Copy this value. Go back to Google and click on Edit Settings and paste the callback URL value in this field and hit Update. Okay, your Google app is now ready to use. Go back in Salesforce and go in the external data sources section. Click on New and select Google Drive, Files Connect Google Drive. That's the label that end users will see. So choose something meaningful. Identity type, use per user. Authentication protocol, OAuth. Authentication provider, click on this icon and select the authentication provider that you just created. Okay. Click on this checkbox and then hit save. And we are now going to execute the OAuth flow. Okay, click on accept. And you are redirected back in Salesforce. Congratulations. Your external data source is now ready to be used. One last thing you need to do, you need to enable it on the permission set. So I go back on the permission set. Files Connect Cloud, permission set. Go to the external data source access section. Click on Edit, and that's your Google Drive external data source, and move it to the Enable External Data Source section. Save. And your external data source is now ready to be used by your org users. Let's do this. Let's go to the Files tab. And I now see Google Drive in the external files section. And if I click there, I will see this warning message telling me to authenticate against Google Drive. So your users will just need to click on this link. They will be redirected to Google Drive. They will just need to click on accept. And then they will go back in Salesforce. And from there, they will be able to browse Google Drive, access all their Google Drive documents, and also search in Google Drive directly from Salesforce. For more information concerning Files Connect, including how to use Files Connect, refer to the Files Connect documentation, and we also have some videos in the success community. Thank you.